Price cut, price cut, price cut. Cameron Cornish here, your #1 real estate agent in St. George. And if you're looking at the market right now here in Southern Utah, you're going to notice there are a lot of price cuts going on. And so everyone's asking me,
Cam, what's going on in the market? Why are we seeing so many price cuts?
well, today I have a hot take for you, and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on what that means for you and what that means in general for the market here in Southern Utah. All that means if you're a buyer is deals. We're also going to check out some homes. So let's go talk about some deals, look at some deals. So come along with me. This is Living in STG. Let's do it. All right, you guys, before we really get into the nitty gritty of why all these price cuts are happening here in Southern Utah, there's a builder that comes in mind right now in the Desert Color area that has had some crazy price cuts lately by the name of Toll Brothers. Now, before I jump into why that's actually happening, I want you to understand Desert Color a little bit because there's 4 different communities within this neighborhood. You have Auburn Hills, and then you have Sage Haven, where there's some single family resident Toll Brother homes. You have the Shores, which is where the Airbnb community are next to the lagoon, and then you have the Regency, which is a 55 plus Toll Brothers community. Now, if you're not familiar with Toll Brothers as a builder, they are a nationwide new construction home builder, and they have high quality luxury homes, exceptional craftsmanship. They do a great job paying attention to detail, and they build a really beautifully designed home, premium finishes, modern floor plans, top tier amenities. They do an amazing job. So the question is, why are there so many price cuts? Well, the reason being is because Toll Brothers is actually pulling out of Desert Color right now. And because of that, we are seeing $50,000 to $75,000 price cuts. And, speaking to some of the agents out here, I've even heard of some buyers buying these homes right now, asking for $100,000 to $125,000 off the listing price and actually getting under contract and getting that home. So there are some huge deals going on right now in Desert Color. Okay, so what is happening? Why are they pulling out of Desert Color if they're such a premium home builder? Well, I believe the answer is that Toll Brothers really is a victim of bad timing. See, what happened is in 2020, Toll Brothers bought 540 lots with big plans, right? They had the 55 plus community called the Regency, and they were going to have their own amenities, their own pool, and they even sold a lot of those homes based off that concept. However, what happened is interest rates jumped. We all saw it happen from like 3% literally to 8%. And all of those projected home sales took a halting stop, right? It really slowed them down. And, put it this way, only 18 homes in Desert Color between the $800 and $1 million price range were sold last year. And that obviously Toll Brothers, it took a big hit because a lot of those single family resident homes are listed between 800 and 900,000. Some of them were even at $1 million. Well, right now Toll Brothers only has 9 homes left, and their goal is to be out of Desert Color by October of this year. So what that means is this is a great opportunity to capitalize on some of the luxury homes that they have built out in Desert Color right now here in Southern Utah. So if I were you, I would definitely take advantage of it. Look more into it. These are really beautifully designed homes. They just want out. So let's help them get out. Let's buy some of these homes from them, and you can get yourself a smoking deal right now. Now, let's go into why it's happening in general here. Talk a little bit about what's happening, supply, demand, things like that. Let's get into it. All right, you guys, here we are, February 19th of 2025. And what I want to do is I really want to dig into why so many people are asking me this question and why we are seeing so many price cuts here in Southern Utah right now. So I'm going to just show you guys something kind of interesting so you can really see it for yourself. I want you guys to look at this, right? This is from January of 2025, right? So the beginning of this year till today. So we're looking at roughly a month and a half worth of price cuts. And if you pull that up right here, we are seeing just about 8 800 price changes happening right now here in St. George or just the southern Utah area. And these are pretty substantial price changes. We're talking 100,000, 200,000. Sometimes I've seen even $300,000 price cuts happening. And, that's something to look into a little bit, right? I understand why some people are worried. They're wondering, is the market crashing? What's happening? Why are there so many price cuts? Well, I think I have a pretty good explanation for you guys, and we're going to dig into that. But if we just look at this compared to, last year, right? If we go back and we really look at, month to date, we're going to look at January of 2024 to February 19th of 2024, essentially. Okay. Now there was actually 500 price changes last year, the same exact time. So yeah, that's pretty substantial. So let's dig into that a little bit more and really try to explain why that's happening in our market currently. Now, another major detail that we want to look at to really start to shed some light into what's going on right now is let's just look at a quick market summary of January of 2025. Right now, that when we look at this, we're going to notice average days on market is 80, right, which is pretty similar to what it was last year at 76. So there's a slight change in there that might be causing some things to happen. But I think where we really start to identify what's going on is we want to look at homes sold, right, roughly about the same from last year, 327 to 331. So we're really close in that. So you might think, okay, there's demand, right? Things are happening, things are going on. That's a good sign. But if we want to look at active listings, this is where things start to change. There's 1,800 homes on the market right now compared to last year where we had 1,481. So roughly 300 to 400 more homes on the market now than it was last year. So what that tells us is that we have plenty of supply. There's plenty of homes on the market. There's plenty of homes for people to choose from. The problem is the pool of buyers aren't the same comparatively to how many homes are actually on the market. So you might look at that and think it's healthy, but ultimately it's not compared to how many homes are on the market. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we have a lot of supply and lower demand. So rightfully so, what homeowners are going to do is realize, man, my home's not selling, things aren't happening, I'm not getting as many showings, or maybe I am getting a ton of showings, but no one's biting. Well, ultimately what they're going to do is they're going to lower the price of the home to make it more attractive. So ultimately what happened is that sellers initially thought that there was going to be higher demand. And when that didn't come through, and that's not happening right now in this current market, well, those price cuts are going to follow. That's just what's going to happen. It's supply and demand. Now, another key factor that could be playing in this again is interest rates, just like we talked about with the Toll Brothers situation. Interest rates are still sitting at 6.5%, almost 7. And that's definitely scary to a lot of people. I understand why there's a lot of people on the fence right now. A lot of people are probably a little bit apprehensive to get into a 30-year mortgage, with interest rates higher than normal right now. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to interest rates, there's definitely a lot of great things that lenders can do to help you get that interest rate down. And that's definitely a, topic worth discussing. We should definitely talk about that. Let me know if that's something you're interested in, and I can get you in contact with some great lenders out here in Southern Utah that can show you exactly how to maybe even get that interest rate down to 5%, maybe even 6%, right? So now another thing to keep in mind, and I think something that has definitely played, especially throughout the winter months, is the election. That's something that I think a lot of people were kind of waiting to see the outcome of. They were waiting to see who was going to get elected and what was going to happen with Fed rates and then mortgage rates following and unemployment rates. Everyone wanted to see what was going on. Now, the winter months are slow in general. So again, that's just something that sellers are going to see and have to deal with and understand that things are going to be slow during the winter time. And then you throw the mix of the election in there. Then you throw the uncertainty of what's going to happen in there. I think there's just a lot of people right now sitting on the fence, waiting before they actually make that purchase and, pull the trigger on buying a home. So again, naturally what that's going to do is it's going to cause sellers really start to second guess, do I have this home priced at the right amount? And what can I do to get this sold? Well, ultimately, that main thing that they're going to do is they're going to probably do a price cut. And I think that's what we're seeing happening right now here in St. George. That's my take on things. That's kind of what I see happening right now in the market. And it doesn't necessarily mean anything bad. I just understand that right now we're in a buyer's market. And so if you're wanting to purchase a home, I think you're going going to get some pretty sweet deals with what's happening right now and the supply demand issue going on here in St. George. So keep that in mind. Let's help you find a home. And I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about some things happening right now that I suspect might happen as far as cost of building going up, not just in St. George, but all around the country. So let's get into it. Let me go show you guys this beautiful home over in Ivins, Utah. All right, you guys, we're headed out to Indigo Trails over in Ivins, Utah, which is hands down my favorite area in all of St. George, Utah, right? This little area in Ivins and Santa Clara, just beautiful mountains, 360-degree views everywhere you look. And this neighborhood, Indigo Trails, has these really cool flat roof Adobe style homes. Now, if you want to talk about price cuts, this home just had a major one. It was originally listed at $1,689,000, and they just dropped it to $1,489,000. So that's a $200,000 price cut right there, and that's a big deal, you guys. So they're very energy efficient. That's one thing that stands out to me. In the construction of these homes, have about 96% energy efficiency. The agent was actually talking to me about another home in the neighborhood. It's had people live in it now for about a year, but over that course of year, they've spent less than $1,000 in their power bill just because of how energy efficient these homes are. You got 2x6 construction, you have a gap, another 2x6 construction right there, and then the insulation all between it. Just a really sturdy, awesome built home. There's a couple lots in this neighborhood available as well. Indigo Trails has about 3 to 4 different preferred builders that you can choose from. But here's something to think about. Minus the pool in this house, we're looking at roughly about $350 a square foot. And I think about, the tariffs happening right now in Canada that President Trump is doing. And I, often think, okay, what is that going to do to the cost of building here, in our country? And if you consider about 70% of our lumber that we use for new construction home building in our country comes from Canada, well, you kind of start to get the picture. I mean, cost of building is most likely going to go up as the cost of that lumber goes up being imported from Canada. Not to mention, they're estimating about a 70 cent increase in gas. So the diesel fuel, right? Think about the diesel trucks that actually bring the lumber to these job sites. That's probably going to go up as well. This is just my thought process here, you guys. I really believe the cost of building is going to be going up here in the next year. And so if your goal is to build a home, I would start getting on it now, start building now, or, obviously buy one already built. But it's just something to think about, you guys. Hopefully that gives you something to chew on as well. And there you have it, you guys. Indigo Trails, Ivins, Utah. All right, you guys. Hey, hopefully you learned a ton in that video right there. And I know there's a lot to chew on, but if you have any other questions about this topic in this video, reach out to me. Shoot me a text, give me a call, whatever you need to do to help you plan your move here to St. George, Utah. I'd love to help you with that, and just know your game plan, whatever it might be. So do me a favor, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. God bless.